India's economy is slowing down, and the ones who are the worst hit are those looking for jobs, especially fresh graduates and mid-career professionals.
It is very difficult and the future seems to be very bleak. So अभी की job security और job availability है zero.
The manufacturing sector is down due to the sentiment into the market.
In fact, in the first 4 months of 2017, 15 lakh jobs were lost. Data from the CMIE shows. Meanwhile, with close to 130 lakh graduates entering the workforce every year, it is clear that job creation remains India's biggest challenge. And as the job market continues to be sluggish, layoffs have also been increasing, causing concern to the few that have jobs.
The manager, the HR, recruiter and all that, they all had just one thing in mind, that if we want to lay someone off, we have to lay one off. And performance is a very, very crucial matrix. You don't perform, you perish. That's the only rule these people follow. In my case, I was supposed to get 98% accuracy, and for every one single error, there is a deduction of 2.5 marks. So the number becomes 97.5. So in the name of 98, they actually are asking for 100% workload and all that. That is the main key role they play.
The BJP came to power with a promise to create over 1 crore jobs per year. But the last 3 years shows that India's skilled, employable youth are left with little hope. The centre is now indicating a stimulus package to boost the economy. But the big question we are asking is, will this stimulus translate into more jobs? Will the centre come good on its 10 crore job creation promise? Mirror Now report.
There's research now that tells us that when you lose 1% of the GDP of India, you also lose 1 million jobs. It is no secret that our GDP has fallen. It was around 7.5, it's close to 5.5 right now. That adds up to 2 million jobs in the last 1 year. And we don't have to rely on the statistics. Each of us who's watching this program tonight knows someone who lost their job or who's been laid off from their organization. Maybe the organization that you work for. Why is that happening? Why are people losing jobs? We also know that the country has had trouble creating jobs. The Niti Aayog, which is effectively the Planning Commission, has said this is underemployment and not unemployment. We've had the government put their heads together at this point in the Finance Ministry to try and figure out what they can do to solve the problem, acknowledging that the problem exists. What we need to do is have a conversation about it, because not enough people are talking about the fact that we are in a job crisis in this country. And unless steps are taken immediately to solve this job crisis, we will have large-scale unemployment. Consider the fact that the real estate industry, the textile industry, the infrastructure industry are in distress. When entire construction sites close down, what happens to the masons and the bricklayers and the daily wage laborers who are working on those construction sites? Where do they go? They get paid weekly, and if they're not being paid weekly, how do they pay their rent? How do they buy food? We need to understand that it's not just in your IT office, your telecom office, your BPO office that people are losing jobs. People are also losing jobs from small-scale industry, from the sector that is largely unofficial. Where are all of these people going to go? How are they going to feed their children? And the bigger question to then ask is, with the high fuel prices, the higher price of food and fruits, and the higher price of milk, how are these people going to feed their children? Why is it that our economy is completely crumbling around us? And I want you to call in and share your personal stories, and you can also do so on inball.in. But joining me on the show this evening, Shweta Shalini, spokesperson of the BJP, Sanjay Jha of the Congress Party, Rituparna Chakrabarti is the president of the Indian Staffing Federation and the co-founder of Team Lease. Krish Lakshmikant is the managing director of Headhunters India. Santosh Mehrotra is an economist. Elevarasan Raja is the coordinator of the Forum of IT Employees, which is actually a group of people who are now banding together to stop what they believe are unfair firings that happen in the IT industry. Prasenjit Kumar is a student right now of MA History, Delhi University, currently doing his MPhil, who tells us that he's having trouble finding a job. I welcome all of you to this conversation and I thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to open the conversation with Santosh Mehrotra. Santosh Mehrotra, do you believe we're in a job crisis or we're heading to a job crisis?
Yeah. No, we've been in a job crisis for at least 5 years. You see, there was rapid job growth when there was rapid economic growth between 2003-04 and 11-12. Since 11-12, the GDP growth rate has systematically declined. And at the same time, after 11-12, the number of young people joining the labor force began to increase. From 4-5 to 11-12, the number of aspirants for jobs, young aspirants for jobs, was only 2 million per annum. It was never 12 million per annum. It was 12 million per annum at the beginning of the 2000s. Anyway, the point is, between 2004-05 and 11-12, there were only 2 million additional young people looking for work. Then now that since 11-12, the numbers who are looking for work is 4 million. It's doubled per annum. But the number of jobs that are being created has gone down because growth rate has gone down. It's fairly straightforward.
Well, we see Santosh Mehrotra says we're in a job crisis. I want to ask Krish Lakshmikant the same question. Krish Lakshmikant of Headhunters India, where are the jobs?
Faye, good evening. Firstly, what we are talking is something which has happened in the past. We should look at the future because you can't do anything with statistics. Statistics talk of history. But I can tell you something very interesting because and very heartening. In the last 28 days, 4 weeks, we as an executive search company have received 34 mandates. These are all mandates with salaries ranging from 30 lakhs to 3 crores per annum, number one. Number two, these are across industries. They are not only in IT, they are in cement, they are in auto, you name it, it's retail, you name it, it is there. This is important. Secondly, I was in Calcutta on Monday and I met one of our clients. They actually are in the infrastructure sector. They produce machinery for the infrastructure. They like road building, etc. They were saying that in July-September quarter, their production is double what they produce in the Jan to June. That is, whatever they produce in Jan-June, they've doubled it in 3 months. And they say their order books are very good for the next 1.5 years. The point is, all the people are talking only of the past. The past has no meaning if I am looking for a job. Yes, it was bleak till about a month or two back. If you take the monster index, job index, they are showing a 14% increase month on month compared to last year.
Mr. Lakshmikant, okay. Mr. Lakshmikant, it's very heartening to hear what you're saying. You said 34 mandates of jobs. And you said the past is completely irrelevant, which is interesting because if the data is to tell us, and this is not, these are not statistics that can be manipulated. This is data of people who've lost their jobs. Those people are in the market currently looking for new jobs.
Yeah.
They flooded the market looking for new jobs, right?
Okay.
How can you turn around and say the past is irrelevant? The past is currently looking for a job.
Yeah, I agree, but the things are improving. Today, in fact, one person came and met me. The CEO of a company.
The unemployment is growing. That's the point that this gentleman does fail to understand.
Hello. Now, he came to me.
All he's thinking about is organized sector jobs. That's his problem.
Things have changed. Things are
and
much,
even the
much
organized
better.
sector jobs are not growing.
Are good. And for every CXO job which was created, there are 100 jobs down the line.
The sentiment is good. So ask someone in industry. CEO, capacity utilization has not improved in the last 2 years. The capacity utilization, sir, is at 70%.
The SME sector. The SME sector is where the growth is not only in India but globally. It is not the Infosys and TCS who will hire today. It is the Infosys which will come up in 20 years. There are companies who are aspiring to become the Infosys or TCS, and they are hiring. So this is what is very interesting, and I think we should really look at
and
this.
there are okay. So that's where your faith comes from, the SME sector. All right, let me bring in other members of the panel as well. I want to bring in Rituparna Chakrabarti. Rituparna Chakrabarti, is there a job crisis right now? Because if people are losing their jobs in large numbers, they're going to flood the market. They're going to increase the unemployment. Is it fair to say that the past is behind us? Let's just look at the future.
Thanks, Faye. I think the real question is not whether jobs are getting created. The question is, are we creating enough jobs for the number of people who are joining the workforce every year? And if that's the question, the answer is very clear. I don't think we're creating as much jobs as we do require. Having said that, it brings me to the second question, which is relevant. Are we creating enough formal jobs? I think at this point of time, if I were to look at the recent data, we're probably amidst the 5 million odd that gets created, about barely 2 to 3 lakhs of them are formal jobs. And then the third point is that what's the scenario and how does the outlook look like? To be honest, Faye, we have at this point of time jobs which are largely domestic consumption driven. And in the next 5 months, because of the festival season, I personally see about 50,000 jobs getting created. However, the biggest challenge right now ahead of us is the challenge of employability. I don't think we have the right skills. Even where the jobs are available, we are not actually being able to convert those vacancies into jobs of dignity. And in my mind, these three are the most pertinent problems that lay ahead of us.
That's very well said. In fact, I want to read out of an article that was printed in the Times of India that says, according to the economic survey, employment in organized sectors in 2012 was 46.8 million. It goes on to say that 2 to 3 lakh jobs get created in the formal sector, but the demand of the additional people entering the job market is 12 to 13 million. It goes on to predict that the GDP of the country declined 2% to 5.7 from 7.9 in the same quarter in the previous year. And it predicts that every time we lose 1% of GDP, we lose 1 million jobs. 1 million jobs. Can we afford to lose 1 million jobs? That's the question we are asking. I'm going to also ask, I want my political panelists to be slightly patient. We're going to do one round so everybody has their say and you can respond to them. Raja, Forum of IT Employees, how bad is it at this point? A lot of people will underplay the situation, but you are in touch with your colleagues and other people in the IT industry. How bad is the situation, Raja?
Probably I can say that still we are getting too many calls every day across India. Like at least 1,500 members in Maharashtra alone in touch with us, and they are fear of losing their job. There are some people who got threatening from the companies to put on papers and all, and some people are forced to sign the PIP documents and they were not provided the photocopies of it. They're saying come directly and put the signature, we won't give the photocopies of it. So a lot of unethical practices are going in the industry on laying of people and all. So we are trying to gather them and guiding them legally. And in Maharashtra alone, in Pune alone, we have filed 20 plus cases in the Labour Commissioner office, and the cases were moved to Labour Court now. The conciliation got failure because the companies were denying things and they were not present at all in the conciliation meets. So it's very crucial situation for the industry, not only the IT industry. I've gone through the manufacturing industry also and other unorganized sectors where huge number of unemployment is there.
Right. Prasanjit Kumar, who is the student who will graduate soon, are you also having trouble finding a job? What's the situation among the other students who are graduating at this point?
बिल्कुल हम एक बिहार से पिछड़े इलाके से आए दिल्ली, और हमने ये सोच करके आया कि दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी जैसे यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ करके रोज़गार को और अच्छे से हम रोज़गार ले सकते हैं और शिक्षा जगत में एक अच्छे प्रोफेसर, अच्छे टीचर के रूप में अच्छे एक जॉब पा सकते हैं। लेकिन हम जब आते हैं दिल्ली में तो हम देखते हैं कि हमारे साथ हमारे दोस्त और हम लोग सालों मेहनत करते हैं जॉब के लिए, एग्ज़ाम देते हैं, लेकिन लगातार जो अभी देख रहे हैं पिछले साल से एसएससी का इतना कम हो गया, जहां 20-30 हज़ार के हज़ारों में आता था सीट, वहां अब 2-3 हज़ार 5 हज़ार पे आने लगा है। लगातार कट हो रहा है रोज़गार का। अब दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का मैं छात्र हूं और देख रहा हूं कि यहाँ जो एडहॉक भी एक जो जॉब मिलती थी, जो रिसर्चर होते थे, जो नेट क्वालिफाइड होते थे, उनका भी 7-8 हज़ार यहाँ एडहॉक टीचर का जो है बहाली बंद हो चुका है। बहुत ही क्राइसिस में यहाँ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी जैसी यूनिवर्सिटी चल रहा है जहाँ टीचर का ज़बरदस्त अभाव है। तो ये पूरा स्थिति है दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़ने के बावजूद भी। दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का एक छात्र होने के नाते मैं इस चीज़ को बहुत ही झेल रहा हूँ और देख रहा हूँ कि किस तरह से आज के दौर में एक हायर एजुकेशन करने के बाद भी, इतना सेक्रीफाइस करने के बाद भी रोज़गार का ये हालत है। तो मैं ये यहाँ से देख रहा हूँ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी से, और मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि सरकार इस चीज़ को ठीक करे, क्योंकि यही सरकार थी जो मोदी सरकार जो ये कहा था कि 1 करोड़ हर साल रोज़गार देंगे, और ये इनका फेल्योर है जो आज हम डिबेट कर रहे हैं कि रोज़गार की हालत दिनों दिन गिरती जा रही है। नौजवानों छात्रों में एक फ्रस्ट्रेशन का लेवल बढ़ता जा रहा है क्योंकि वो रोज़गार उनको नहीं मिल रहा है। तो ये बहुत बड़ी समस्या है आज के दौर में, और उसको दिल्ली जैसे शहर में एक हायर एजुकेशन करना और वहाँ टिक पाना एक बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट काम है। और मैं, जैसा कि आपने बताया भी कि मैं रिसर्च कर रहा हूँ हिस्ट्री में, और रिसर्च करना भी, क्योंकि रिसर्च का भी लगातार फंड कट हो रहा है यूजीसी के द्वारा। आपने देखा 55% पिछले बार भी फंड कट हुआ है इस बजट में। तो लगातार हम लोग एक हायर एजुकेशन लेने के लिए हम आ रहे हैं, वो भी नहीं मिल रहा है, और बीए करने के बाद, एमए करने के बाद एक हताशा का माहौल हो जाता है कि डीयू के रामजस जैसे कॉलेज में हम पास आउट हैं और हमारे पास कोई रोज़गार का अवसर नहीं है। तो ये हालत है नौजवानों का, और इसका मेरे नज़र में
श्वेता शालिनी बीजेपी की एक मिनट, श्वेता शालिनी रिप्रेजेंट्स द बीजेपी राइट नाउ। आप प्रसन्नजीत कुमार की को डायरेक्टली जवाब दे दीजिए।
Faye, thank you so much. First and foremost, before I reply to Prasanjit ji, I want to congratulate you, Faye, because for the first time in a Mirror Now debate, I have seen a hashtag which is extremely positive, which says, where are the jobs? Because unfortunately, what we have been talking about in your panel, and you have repeatedly said it, the sectors, the organized sectors is where these surveys are actually done. If you actually look at an international survey which was done, it says very clearly that the major has been seen, and not only in India, but globally, it has been seen in the low-skilled sector. Whereas in the mid-skilled sector, the jobs have actually increased by 8%. And in the high-skilled sectors, the jobs have actually increased by about 56%. So what we are looking at is skilling.
No, hang on. Shweta Shalini, are you telling me that jobs have increased 56%?
By long-term.
Can you give me the? No, hang on. Give me. Shweta Shalini, give me the source of this data that you're quoting.
I said it is an HNF survey, and please look into it. It talks about which skilled, and that is where the trap is, because please understand that the jobs that we are talking about are jobs which
source of the data.
It is an international survey done by an American company. I don't think I can remember the companies. I think it is an HNF or HNS organization which has
a sample size
survey, and you can
has a sample size of what?
Available.
Faye, will you ask? Will you ask what is the sample size of an international
this is a global research done by an American company. Sanjay Jha, take over. Sanjay Jha, rebut.
No,
Sanjay Jha,
done. It is. Yeah. It is a global research done which says that only low-skilled jobs have decreased and the bills.
No. See. To be fair, Shweta Shalini, I give you a minute. Sanjay Jha is going to rebut. You should use your cell phone to Google this research paper, so you can tell us the name of the research paper, and my team will then source out that research paper. We also have Rituparna Chakravarti, Krish Lakshmikant. These are all headhunters. We have an economist.
From Faye,
we'll find the paper.
I also want to reply to Prasenjit. I also want to reply
I want to know where you quoted data on the show. You must tell me where it's from.
Yeah, you must.
I told you it's from a research organization called HNF.
Okay, if my team has heard that, would you please check that out and tell us what the...
So I'm sure you can...
Yeah, my research team will check out this... My research team is checking this out. Shweta Shalini, I'll come back to you as soon as they do. Give us 5 minutes. Sanjay Jha, rebut, please.
Surely.
Faye, I just want to make one point. I think let's have a very mature discussion, and we don't want to get into this scoring of political points. Mr. Gandhi in the United States admitted that one of the reasons why the UPA, despite a very high growth rate over 10 years, averaging over 7.6%, could not in the last 2 years, as I think Mr. Mehrotra correctly pointed out, when the world economy got sluggish and India could not escape that downturn, I think we felt the heat, and that's one of the reasons why it impacted us in the elections. And we are very candid enough to say that that was something for which we take responsibility. And I think at this point we need to quote data that is reliable and authoritative. So let me quote to you what is actually said by the Labour Bureau. And I think many people will bear out with me that the Labour Bureau sample size is much bigger, by the way, than even the NSSO. And it said very clearly that in the first year of this current government, India lost around 16 lakh jobs. And that's a significant number to lose, Now, again, you look at the other 16 million jobs, sorry. Now, if you look at the 1st January to March of this particular calendar year, on account of demonetization, we lost 1.5 million jobs. In the formal sector, and I agree that 90% of the jobs are in the informal sector, fair enough. But in the formal sector, you're having, I don't know whether people read today's papers, but established banks are actually laying off people. Now, you can say it's a account of automation and digitalization, etc., etc. But the fact of the matter is that we have got ourselves into a very serious, I would say, job conundrum. And there is no easy way out. I mean, that's the point, Faye, that I want to state here. We were there in part for 10 years, and in the last 2 years when we stumbled, I think it impacted the entire performance of the government. Now, at the moment, if you look at the economy, and I'm just going to look at the larger variables that are impacting the job market, your GDP is down from 6.9 when the BJP took over down to 5.7. Now that is virtually close to 2%, and 2% in the last financial year, which means that joblessness is likely to rise. We can't run away from it. Government expenditure cannot make up for jobs, because the government here is even now saying that Manrega jobs are being treated as jobs, which is totally wrong. Number 3, because you're talking of permanent jobs, not contractual jobs which are seasonal in nature. Again, private investment is highly sluggish. I don't want to make it very technical, but until new investments come in from private investment, you are not going to see a job boom. So end of day, you go back to agriculture, where again the growth has slumped down to 2%. So you have a very gigantic problem. And the spin that is very often given by the government, that's the only part where I disagree with this government. You have a problem, admit it, don't be in denial. They talk about a Mudra scheme, that we created 7 crore jobs. We have fact-checked that, Faye, and I will preempt the BJP spokesman by telling you that the Mudra CEO himself denied that there is any data to support those 7 crore jobs. In fact, Mudra is a refinance bank, and they said we don't have any claims of this kind to make. So you have a job crisis. It's a magnitude of epic proportions, and we need to address it in a mature fashion. We have a problem. Let's not run away from that.
Right, there is a problem. Let's not run away from that. And we're still trying to locate that particular research paper that was quoted on the show. But I just want to point out there's a Times of India article that was dated the 14th of September that says IT jobs at IIT Bombay dip this placement season, showing the fact that the IT industry is in the dumps, and the fact that they've not made the kind of offers to IIT Powai, which is a premier institute. Let me go back to Shweta Shalini. Shweta Shalini, my team is still looking for that research paper, but I cut you off. I'm going to let you finish your argument. Go ahead.
What I was primarily brought Sanjay ji in, and as he rightly pointed out, that first things first, Mudra loan, about 7 crore jobs were created, and these are jobs which were generated. And for the first time, I want to agree with Sanjay ji when he says that 90% of the jobs are in the unorganized sector. And that's where we have actually created the jobs. And each job, these 7 crore people who actually got the Mudra loan, which was to the tune of 3.17 lakh crores. These are the people who have not only been self-employed, but would have certainly employed 3 more people other than them. So look at this. This is 3 times the number. Second, the Niti Aayog has said, that the infrastructure
with some facts from government data
has the investment in infrastructure has increased by around 51 lakh crores. And this infrastructure, the amount of the kilometer of roads which were made during the Congress regime were about 6 kilometers a day. Today we are making about 20-25 kilometers a day. Now these are the people who are employed in sectors like this. And this is the unorganized sector that we are not talking about on your show. And that is where I said that when you say that where are the jobs, here are the jobs. And that is why I again want to reply to Prasenjit ji कि प्रसन्नजीत जी हमने कहा था कि हम 1 करोड़ मोदी जी ने कहा था कि 1 करोड़ नौकरियां देंगे. हमने 7 करोड़ लोगों को आज मुद्रा लोन के तहत एम्प्लॉयमेंट दिया है. जरूरी है हम आपको सक्षम बनाना चाहते हैं ताकि आपको अपना शहर, अपना गांव, अपना देश छोड़कर बिहार छोड़कर दिल्ली ना आना पड़े. It is important.
Okay. Let me just pause you for a second. Shweta Shalini, Shweta Shalini. Let me pause you for a second because I've located this research paper that you were quoting. Just one second. Yes. It's called the Analytics and Data Science India Job Study 2017 by Advancer and AIM. This is specifically talking about jobs in the analytics and data science sector within India, that points out within this sector that India has actually added 50,000 jobs in 10 companies. 50,000 jobs in 10 companies in data analytics. So to blow that out of proportion and say that you're talking about the entire country, Shweta Shalini, it's blatant, almost lying. So either you didn't read the research very well, or you decided that you will make it seem like there is a global company
Faye,
that says
because
India's...
the one that I'm referring to surely talks about all skilled employees in the IT automation sector and the BPO sector. So I'm not too sure if you've got the data right. Because yes, there is data available, and you will.
Okay, so why don't you actually forward it to my team?
Forward it to my team. People are sitting in Congress right now, so I don't think you people have the right to comment.
That's really quite uncalled for. Santosh Mehrotra, go ahead. Santosh Mehrotra.
Even your Mudra data is fake, madam.
Yeah, let me start with what Mudra has managed to do. Mudra has indeed given loans to about 12.5 million people in its first year of operation, according to its own annual report, that is the year 15-16. But do you know what the size of each, on average, the loan is? the average loan size, according to the Mudra annual report, and I would recommend everyone on your panel to kindly read that, it is available on the web. The average loan size is 17,000 rupees. On 17,000 rupees, I challenge you to go and buy a thela, and then you might be able to fill it with some fruits and sell it for on one occasion, one day, after which you will be jobless again. Point one. Point two, the Government of India's own Labour Bureau data tells us in no uncertain terms that self-employment has actually declined over the last 5 years that the Labour Bureau survey has been done by 3 million. Mudra people are supposed to be self-employed. Now, on the one hand, for Mudra, you know, the people are claiming that jobs are being created. But Labour Bureau is saying the number of self-employed in the economy has actually fallen by 3 million. Please square the circle for me. Help me out here. Because I thought I'm the economist and I'm missing something here.
Faye, can I add something? Because what is important, feel is that the SME sector, as per ILO, I'm talking of the ILO, International Labour Organization, the SME sector contributes to 67% of the growth, job growth. Now in India, if you look at Monster data, Naukri data, they are showing healthy growth in jobs in the last month. That is, I'm talking of 14-15% is not small growth. I don't know about economists. Economists are most invariably
That's the point. Last month.
They work with statistics, and in India, statistics is bunkum.
Oh, really?
That much I can tell you. Because you don't take the formal sector into account. Yeah. And another thing is, the manufacturing is today happening in the small scale sector. It is not happening in the large plants. The Marutis of the world are only doing assembly.
It's a joke. I mean, this panel has become a joke.
Boss, I am not a joker.
Right, let me bring in Rituparna. Rituparna, do you want to rebut that? Rituparna, do you want to rebut that? Do you want to rebut that?
Faye, I think we're spending too much time around politics here. If we were to look at the real issues and look at the solutions, essentially there are 5 geographies of work which have become dysfunctional, which is affecting job creation. I think the enterprise geography of work, which essentially says that there are about 63 million enterprises in this country and only 9 lakh are registered. There are only about 14,000 companies in this country with a paid up capital over 10 crores. Essentially, where are the employers? And I think there has to be focus around, if there are not enough organized employers and formal employers, we are not going to get the jobs that we are looking for. And hence, building easy access to capital, reliable infrastructure, and of course, predictable and healthy regulatory environment is essential. Sectoral geography of work, I mean, if you see the numbers, it's astonishing. There is manufacturing employment is less than 12%, self-employment is 50%, agriculture is 50%. So, I mean, apparently 84% of the manufacturing happens in this country, which employs less than 50 people. So we really need to figure out how we can actualize Make in India and revitalize manufacturing to create jobs in volumes, because no other sector can match up with the volumes requirement that exist. Physical geography of work, I mean, I just heard my panelist Prasenjit talk about how he's moving from Bihar to Delhi. You cannot have everybody moving into the cities anymore looking for jobs, and it's important that we create more cities. China has got about 350 million cities with over 1 million people. India's probably got just 50. So we have to do, again, smart cities have to be made a reality. The regulatory geography of work, we all know that needs a huge, humongous change in order to attract the jobs. And finally, the education geography of work. About 265 lakh kids take the class 10th exam. About 160 of them pass. And out of the 160 who pass, about 80 lakh, go into class 12. Eventually what we are seeing is there are only 50 lakh kids who end up in the colleges. There is really nothing happening in terms of creating a channel of employability for all those who are dropping out at every stage. As a matter of fact, let's just put our energies around fixing these 5 dysfunctional geographies of work, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do much better than indulging in politics at this point of time. And this issue is structural. This issue hasn't occurred overnight. This issue has been breeding in this country over decades. And hence, it's important for us to put our minds together, leaving aside our differences in terms of how to fix it, because here the future of our youth is at stake, if not anything else.
But I just, you're so right now, I just want to respond to this Mudra Yojana claim.
Faye, can I come in, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Faye, can I come in, please? I think Rituparna is perfect when she says that we need to fix the issue, and that's where the solution lies, because most importantly we need to look at the larger picture and look at the long-term roadmap for how we are going to tackle this situation. And that's what we have been doing. When we are talking about Make in India, that is precisely the idea, that people should not, when we are talking about digital India, when we are talking about skilling India, when we are talking about smart cities, this is the idea, that people should find the jobs where they are. They should not migrate to look for jobs. Alternatively, new jobs are going to be created by opportunities.
Just give me...
Okay, let me just, 1 second. I just have some data that's come to me that I just want to read out to my audience.
Okay.
This whole business about, 1 second, the Mudra Yojana leading to millions and millions of jobs, right? So the Mudra Yojana has altogether from the 2015 handed out about 9 crore loans altogether, out of which only 30% of those loans have been given to entrepreneurs. A lot of the remaining 70% of those loans have been given to people who are already otherwise employed some way or the other. The most basic are something called Shishu loans, which are so small that they couldn't possibly, it's an average of 19,000 rupees, that they cannot actually result in any sort of employment being created. We also have data that shows us, that very clearly indicates the salary labor force was better off salaried than as self-employed. Nearly 2/3 of the self-employed people in our country earn 7,000 rupees or less. For the salaried, that is a far lower number. So it basically shows us that this claim that the Mudra, the Mudra Yojana is leading to lots of employment, lots of self-employment, has not popped up or has not been confirmed by the data so far. I also want to point out one more thing. When you say Skill India, Build India, all of those things, let's also then talk about demonetization. Demonetization cut the unofficial labor force at the knees. The average labor participation rate was 46.9%. Came down drastically after demonetization. It fell to a new low of 44.8%. And lots of people lost their jobs. Unke pet mara gaya tha, to put it quite plainly. That's what happened with demonetization. Now I have a question, Sanjay, I know you want to rebut, but I want to take this question back to Prasanjit. Prasanjit, आपने अभी सुना कि बीजेपी की जो representative है, श्वेता शालिनी, उन्होंने कहा स्किल इंडिया है, बिल्ड इंडिया है, ये भी है कि हम लोग अभी मुद्रा स्कीम दे रहे हैं. तो आपके गांव के लोग, बिहार के लोग या दिल्ली में जो अभी पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं आपके साथियों, वो आप लोग स्किल इंडिया क्यों नहीं, उसमें आप लोग भाग क्यों नहीं लेते? इससे आपका काम क्यों नहीं हो रहा है?
देखिए, मैं श्वेता जी से कहना चाहूँगा कि वो मतलब अपना जो डाटा भी खोजने के लिए अमेरिकी कंपनी और अमेरिका चले जा रहे हैं. शायद इनको ग्राउंड रियलिटी अभी तक कम्युनिकेट नहीं है इनके पास कि किस तरह से, मैं स्पेसिफिक सवाल कर रहा हूं कि किस तरह से जो एसएससी का सेक्टर है, बैंक का सेक्टर है, जहां एक सोशल सिक्योरिटी के साथ नौकरी मिलती है, एक सरकारी जॉब में बेहताशा कमी आई है. एसएससी का इतना कम हो गया है, 8 से 6 हज़ार इस बार बहाली निकला है. आप लगातार नेट का जो है 6% कर दिए हैं, नेट का क्वालिफिकेशन, ये क्वालिफाई करने का एक सीमा तय कर दिए हैं। लगातार एक तरफ तो आप जॉब नहीं दे रहे हैं, एक सोशल सिक्योरिटी वाला अच्छा जॉब नहीं दे रहे हैं जहां एक सिक्योर होकर के अपना जॉब कर सके, और दूसरी तरफ जॉब दे भी रहे हैं और सरकार दे भी रही है तो एक एडहॉक बेसिस पे पूरा चला जा रहा है। हर जगह एडहॉक, हर जगह पीपीपी मॉडल, जहां कोई सुरक्षा नहीं है, कब आपको वो कंपनी हटा देगी, क्या आपको पे करेगी, आप सुन करके ये हो जाएंगे कि एक यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर एक गार्ड जो गेट पे बैठा होता है वो 5,000 की नौकरी पे बैठा होता है, जो कि एक मिनिमम वेज है सरकार के द्वारा, वो भी सरकार ये श्योर नहीं करवा पा रही है कि एक मज़दूर को उसका मिनिमम वेज जो तय किया गया है उसको वो मिले। तो ये स्थिति है कि एक तरफ सरकार नौकरी दिलवा पाने में, सोशल सिक्योरिटी का नौकरी दिला पाने में फेल है, लगातार उसमें कमी आ रही है। ये सब डाटा आप देख सकते हैं कि एसएससी, बैंकिंग, पीसीएस का एग्ज़ाम कितना लेट हो रहा है और वो भी सही से नहीं हो पा रहा है। लगातार टीचर का बहाली रुका हुआ है डीयू जैसे यूनिवर्सिटी में, जहाँ की एक जिसको अच्छा यूनिवर्सिटी और देश के सबसे नंबर 1 यूनिवर्सिटी में देखा जाता है, वहाँ शिक्षकों का बहाली नहीं है। उसमें मान लीजिए जो सर्च कर रहे हैं, जो अच्छे नेट क्वालिफाइड है उनको नौकरी मिलेगा। अब तो नेट क्वालिफाइड होने से भी रोका जा रहा है कि आप इतना ही हम नेट क्वालिफाइड करेंगे, वो 6% होगा जो यूजीसी इस बार अपना दिखा रही थी, अपना ये कर रही थी। तो ये एक तरफ हो रहा है और दूसरी तरफ जॉब दिया भी जा रहा है तो एक पूंजीपतियों के सेवा करने लायक जॉब दिया जा रहा है कि आप पूंजीपतियों को सेवा करिए। यहाँ तक कि हमारे मेहनत का मजाक उड़ाया जा रहा है विदेशों में, कहा जा रहा है कि भारत में युवाओं का मतलब सस्ते दर पे अच्छा स्किल देने का ये है, इसीलिए आप पूंजीपति लोग पैसा लगाइए, इन्वेस्ट करिए। इस तरह से हमारा रिप्रेजेंटेटिव जो हमारे देश के हैं वो जा कर के बाहर कह रहे हैं। तो ये पूरा जो चल रहा है, ये मोदी सरकार बिल्कुल जो जुमला वाली बात है वो अपने आप को जुमलेबाजी की नीति पे आ रही है और हमारे साथ छलावा कर रही है। हम रोज़गार के लिए भटक रहे हैं और सरकार कह रही है, अमेरिकी कंपनी का कोई रिकॉर्ड दिखा रही है जो कि आपने देखा कि कहीं कुछ है भी नहीं। तो ये दिखा करके लोगों को भड़वाने की कोशिश हो रही है। इस पे अगर कैंपस में बात करिए तो आपको राष्ट्रवाद से लेकर के गाय और गौमूत्र तक आपको ले जा करके ठहरा दिया जाएगा और नौजवानों के अंदर एक सेंटिमेंट को पैदा किया जाएगा कि आपको रोज़गार मिले ना मिले, आप राष्ट्रवाद के लिए बात करते रहिए, आपको खाना मिले ना मिले, आप देश की फर्जी जो है सो देशभक्ति की बात करते रहिए। तो ये पूरा चल रहा है, इसका मैं बिल्कुल विरोध करता हूं और मैं चाहता हूं कि अगर आप अगर सही मायने में ग्राउंड रियलिटी आपके पास पता है, अगर नहीं पता है तो आप आइए दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में बहुत अच्छा केंद्रीय सचिवालय ये लाइब्रेरी है जहां आपको नौजवान ऐसे मिल जाएंगे। यूनिवर्सिटी आइए, नौजवानों से इंटरेक्ट हुई, बात करिए तो आपको पता चल जाएगा। मैं इस डाटे में फंसने वाला नहीं हूं क्योंकि मैं ज़मीन पे देख रहा हूं कि क्या हो रहा है।
Right, Shweta Shalini, respond and then Sanjay Jha. Shweta Shalini.
Faye, can I add a point? Sure.
Yes, please. Faye, can I come in? Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, can I come in?
Yeah, of course.
She obviously, she can't hear me. I'm going to come back to you. Sanjay Jha, go ahead. Sanjay Jha, go ahead, and then we'll get that connection back with Shweta Shalini.
Yeah. Faye, I think Prashanjit has given a very graphic and a very honest description of what the common man goes through. And I'll give you an example, Faye, of data that cannot be refuted by anyone. And we should not even try and challenge what is actually a government source that tells you the data. If you look at the last year and a half, there's been a massive spurt in Manrega demand. Manrega payouts has been a massive demand. And the reason behind that is because you are now witnessing a reverse migration where people are getting jobless in cities of India. A lot of people who came earlier and they are now going back to their farms, back to their villages because they cannot subsist in a city like Mumbai and Delhi when they can't get any regular income. So they are back there, which is why you find a spurt in Manrega demand. The second very disconcerting thing which is happening is that even even corporate India is now hiring people on a very contractual and casual kind of a contract basis. Now, that is the reason why, if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, in Gurgaon, in Manesar, I think there was a massive revolt in the Maruti plant. And this has led to a rise of a certain, trade unionism in this country once again, because it discriminates against those who have a permanent job and a part-time job. And the third point, I think until and unless the government realizes that, you got to focus this, this mudra thing, I don't think we should even debate that. It's totally incorrect, whatever the BJP spokesperson has said. I have a lot more data. I don't think I should bore your audience with it. But the fact of the matter is that the government is in power. You have policy making decisions that you can take. You made a disaster with demonetization. It's a structural damage to the economy. Trust me, it's not going to get you out of it for another 6 months to a year. But at the moment, they can definitely try and provide an impetus for sure to really the MSME sector. Focus on it. I mean, you got to not just give them these small 20,000 rupee loans, but you got to look at how can I actually revitalize that. Whether it's on higher credit, because the credit offtake even to that sector has touched an abysmal low. If you look at the last month's the IIP figure, it is index of industrial production. Manufacturing is down to almost 1%. So you have to look at, basically engaging with the small scale industry, providing them credit, looking at assured markets. And last but not the least, why did this government reject what the UPA brought in 2013, which was the FDI in multi-brand retail? That was meant to actually provide the farm to folk model, encourage cold storage chains, improve rural infrastructure, mechanize agriculture, boost farmer income, and make agricultural commodities more profitable so that they could actually even get an urban market. The government, for political reasons, said no, UPA got it, I will not approve of it. So I think these are all myopic decisions, and today they are paying a price for it. Sadly, India is paying a price for it.
Hey, can I come in?
Right, Shweta, this is for you, so you can respond to this as well. You said you were referring to a research paper by HNF. I hope you can hear me, Shweta. We've done some looking. HNF is the Hamdard National Foundation, which is an NGO. There's also HNF is Hepatocyte Nuclear Factor or Hereditary Neutropathy Foundation. We haven't found much else on HNF. Can you tell us specifically what HNF you were referring to?
We know your data collection,
and then respond to Sanjay Jha.
Your team will not be able to find this out because Faye, I understand, I know your data collection team, so don't worry. I'm going to send this paper to you and you can share it with the panelists. This is the data and it is not HNS, it is HFS. But nonetheless, coming back to the point, there are 2 points that I want to talk about. One is there is a lot of discussion which has happened on the Mudra loan, and Sanjay ji has time and again said that I've got a lot of data, but I don't want to bore you. But the fact is there is absolutely no data. I also want to tell the economist on the panel that when the Mudra loan was made, it was made as and
Faye, if you give me a second, I will give the data out.
Introduced to fund the unfunded. So obviously,
Faye, I insist on getting a chance to rebut her because she's challenged me that I don't have the data. I have it.
I need to get my time to talk.
Sorry. Let her finish. Let her finish, Sanjay, please.
I don't want to talk over people. Please, Faye. I need to get my time.
Yeah, sure.
And second, it is important to understand that the Mudra loan was made to fund the unfunded, and it is designed for people who needed small loans from 5,000 rupees to about 10 lakh rupees. So on an average, for a daily wager, he could probably progress to a ready wala in 17,000, 19,000, 20,000, and that's when progress actually happened. Now, I really want to tell Prasenjit, in fact, I have nothing against him, but what he did tell us was a long political speech, and I really thought that I was listening to probably a political opposition. I completely understand your plight, प्रसन्नजीत जी. मैं आपके साथ हूँ, सरकार आपके साथ है, लेकिन स्किल इंडिया में हिस्सेदारी कीजिए. आपसे जो प्रश्न पूछा गया था, फे ने आपसे पूछा था कि आपने स्किल इंडिया में क्या कुछ स्किल इंडिया का योगदान आपने इस्तेमाल किया या नहीं किया, उसका जवाब आप नहीं दे पाए. Can you, why could you not enroll in one of the skilling programs which could have given you a lot more skill so that you would have stayed? Why could you not take the Mudra loan? You would have stayed in your own village.
Okay, I will take 15 seconds to respond to
We have number of examples where people have left well-paying jobs. I'm going to introduce you to this gentleman called Vijay Singh Rajput. He has left a 2 lakh rupee job in Pune and is now gone back to Buldana to ensure with Mudra loan to do farming, and he's earning much more than what he was earning in the organized, so-called organized
one second. Shweta Shalini, Prasanjit Kumar.
So finally you're asking everyone to be forming
an MPhil in history from Ambedkar University in Delhi. What skill do you want him to pick up? Prasanjit Kumar is an MPhil history from Ambedkar University, Delhi. What skill do you want him to learn from Skill India?
When I'm talking about skill, it could be employability skill. Everyone needs skill, Faye. You also need skill. I also need skill. Skilling is something, it is not about degrees. It is about employability.
So you're saying his MPhil history is not making him employable.
You probably need skilling on the job as well. Of course not. When did I say this?
Faye, can I quickly
So what skill do you think he needs as MPhil history?
Faye, can I?
So basically what you're saying, Shweta Shalini, is that MA history from Delhi University, MPhil history from Ambedkar University is no good if he doesn't learn a skill. So we should shut technically all of the universities and send all of our young people to skill development, because apparently they are not employable as MPhils and MAs, and they're completely useless to our country. Right. I haven't heard a more depressing and backward thing in a very, very long time. Also, before I move on, hfsresearch.com says automation.
Don't put your words
automation. Faye, can I quickly rebut on Mudra, please?
Global service jobs.
Too much of fictitious,
India will be the worst expected.
Going on here.
Can I?
I'm also going to talk. 1 second. I'm also going to go to Raja
Just
here.
15 seconds.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Sanjita, 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Only 15 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, 15 seconds. Yeah, since the BJP has nothing to talk about and a self-employed has now become a job, which I think is a public admission of their monumental failure, let me tell the BJP spokesperson 2 points, and I will take only 5 seconds. The Mudra CEO, Mr. Mammon, has gone on record to say, I have no data to back the claim that is being made by the government of 7.28 crore jobs. Second, everybody knows that Mudra is a refinance bank because the microfinance is ultimately given by banks and microfinance institutions. And end of day, the banks and microfinance institutions have only borrowed 1 to 3% from Mudra Bank. So let's get it real. This is all figures that are highly suspect, extremely fictitious, and have absolutely no tangible ground to be having any credibility. It's completely wrong. The CEO has denied this statement themselves.
All right, I want to go to Raja. I want to go back to Raja here. Raja, you've heard all of the arguments so far, and you are constantly in touch with people who are losing their jobs. These people are normally, and I want to put this into perspective for our viewers, these people are normally 35 to 40, maybe 45 years old, which means they have EMIs, they have children who are in school, they have to pay for their petrol, they have to pay to run their house. There's a certain lifestyle that they have gotten accustomed to. They're going to have to figure out how to maintain that lifestyle. They're not going to be able to do it by going to Skills India and learning a skill. Are they, Raja?
Okay, first of all, I want to tell you there was a meeting happened in my previous in a company. So I heard that there is skilling. The manager was coming and asking the employees, saying that there is a huge changes happening in the industry. So you people has to reskill yourself. And one guy suddenly raises a question, and I have to reskill, what my organization going to help in that reskilling part and all. He's immediately said that the organization doesn't help in that. It's your thing to reskill yourself to stay in a job. So they're completely denying it. And recently, you might have heard, we have done a lot of debates on that. A CEO and a chairman of a company said sorry for whatever happened to their employees. The audio clip was released, right? But it's still happening in the same company. Still people are approaching from that company. So what action has been taken from the chairman and CEO? And I want to ask one question to the gentleman who is wearing suit. I'm not aware of his name much, but still he was supporting to the IT industry, the job created and all. Where you are transferring the heat to the employees. You are not ready to take that heat or reduce the heat to the employees. You just directly transfer the heat to the employees and ask them to resign and ask them to put a signature without giving a photocopy of that document. And you're threatening them, we will terminate you, we will blacklist you. So it's all mental harassment. So we have raised a concern to all CMO, PMOs. We have sent a letters to PMO office also. It was simply redirecting to the officials, where some Hyderabad officials were not at all responding properly, and they're not at all taking the responsibility of the jobs in the IT employees who are approaching them in Hyderabad, in Mumbai. It's happening. So we don't know what to do. Physically, we don't have active members over there, but we are guiding them remotely to approach the each and authorities. But the government officials are denying it, and the real government, political parties are supporting us. They are saying it, but I don't think in back end it's anything happening inside. So it's a complete.
I want to go back to Krish Lakshmikant. Krish Lakshmikant is raising his hand. Krish Lakshmikant. Skills India, yes, you don't know where to go. In response to that, and also Skills India basically teaches people carpenting, electric wiring, they teach them plumbing. That is not ideally where I would recommend an MPhil history go. What's going on with our job sector?
Faye, let us face the fact that a person who has done MA history, MPhil history is looking for a civil service job. That is what people do, and most of the civil service jobs go to such people only. They will not fit industry, maybe they'll fit academics. I'm being honest.
The IT industry is hiring manufacturing people, civil engineers, electronics.
No, let me come back to job skills. You see,
No, I don't understand. Krish Lakshmikant, you're telling me that someone studying an MPhil history cannot get a job in our country? Would you repeat that, please?
In a university or in the civil service, madam? Why should anybody employ him otherwise? Tell me, what does he bring to the table?
Isn't education sector supposed to be booming?
To teach, what does he bring to the table? What does he bring to the table? He brings research and the ability to teach our children history.
See, I have here a couple of things which I wanted to...
He brings the ability to teach schools and colleges history.
Faye, I think we are digressing.
I don't understand what you...
No, Faye, I'm sorry if that was a thing it came out. But basically, I'll tell you, today morning I had breakfast with the CFO of a company, engineering company. He says a BCom graduate he interviewed last week, and that person he did not know what is a revenue stamp. You need a revenue stamp if you want to pay anything over 5,000 rupees by cash. That is what you can call essential in India. Number one, he doesn't know what is RPAD. Now, if you are sending RPAD stands for Registered Post Acknowledgement Due. If you want to send a legal notice, either for termination or acceptance or collections, you have to send RPAD.
Right. Okay. Okay. So you're saying the graduates in our college coming out of college are not learning anything. All right. Krish.
I agree.
You're saying that the graduates in our college don't learn anything, and who's responsible for the graduates in our college? I'm just going to give 30 seconds to Prasanjit, because he came in with a real problem, and unfortunately, Prasanjit, if you've been caused any offence, I apologize to you on behalf of members of my panels who think that you should learn electrical engineering, you should learn to be an electrician or a plumber, or perhaps that you cannot get a job anywhere. Prasanjit, मैं माफी चाहती हूँ आपसे. I'm giving you 20 seconds to make a point. I apologize for what you have heard. Prasenjit, go ahead.
देखिए, मैं सबसे पहले कहना चाहूँगा कि अगर सरकार के स्किल इंडिया के अंदर अगर ये समझदारी है जॉब देने का कि किसी पूंजीपति या किसी फैक्ट्री के किसी बनाने वाले फैक्ट्री कार बनाने वाले फैक्ट्री में कौन कितना बोल्ट कस सकता है, कौन कम से कम समय में कम से कम पैसे में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा कंपनी को फ़ायदा पहुंचा सकता है, इस बात को सिखाना प्लम्बर करने का काम. मैं किसी प्लम्बर करने वाले या किसी का मैं ये नहीं कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन मैं बता रहा हूँ कि रोज़गार का मतलब होता है कि आप जिस क्षेत्र में इंटरेस्टेड हैं, आप जहां पढ़ाने से लेकर के जिस क्षेत्र में इंटरेस्टेड हैं, आपको वहां सरकार जॉब दे, आपको एक सिक्योरिटी दे. दूसरी बात कि ये जो लॉजिक दिया जा रहा है कि जनरल पढ़ाई और सामान्य पढ़ाई बीए और एमए करने में कोई ये नहीं होता है, तो आप इसका मतलब ये कह रहे हैं कि हम आपके ही द्वारा चलाए गए यूनिवर्सिटी में कोई पढ़ाई नहीं हो रहा है, कोई बच्चे नहीं पढ़ रहे हैं, आप पढ़ा नहीं पा रहे हैं, यही आप कह रहे हैं. तो ऐसे यूनिवर्सिटी ऐसे कोर्स को आप बंद कर दीजिए. सबसे पहली बात, आप ही अपने ही द्वारा चलाए गए कोर्स.
शट ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटीज. प्रसन्नजीत, मुझे शो बंद करना है यहाँ पे. I've run out of time, प्रसन्नजीत, but I completely understand what he's saying. We have children who are going to school, to college, and we have people who are doing their research like Prasenjit, who are becoming MPhils and they're getting doctorates, and we have nothing for them. And somehow everything we have heard on this panel tonight has been wrong. You cannot tell people from college to learn plumbing to get a job. You cannot tell people to say, oh, because you're learning history, you can't possibly be useful to our country. Shame on us if that is what we think. People who learn history look at our past and tell us how we should move towards the future. We're currently at a spot in our country where everybody's telling us that we should go back to our sanskar. How are we going to know what is our sanskar if people who are learning history are not useful to us? Shame on us if we don't respect the liberal arts, and shame on us if 2 million people have lost their jobs and there's nothing we can do about it. Let's not even begin to count the farmers who are killing themselves. This country is in a crisis, and we need to come up with a solution to that crisis as soon as possible before things get a lot worse. Thanks for watching.